Hey everybody, we are solving this very simple problem. Evaluate reverse Polish notation. So we are given an array of strings. It's called tokens that represents an arithmetic expression in a reverse Polish notation. This is basically a postfix notation. Evaluate this expression, return an integer that represents the value of this expression. So let's take an example. We are given something like this. 2, 1 plus 3 and star. This corresponds to this particular expression, and we are supposed to uh, evaluate this, and that would be 9. So the output is 9. We are also given some conditions. These are the four notations that are allowed: plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Each operand may be an integer or another expression. It could be either 3 or it could be another expression like 2 plus 1. And these are two operands and they might be connected by a multiply. The division between two integers always truncates towards 0. So if I have something like 2.6, the division output, this truncates to 2. This is basically the floor. There will be no division by 0, so we don't have to worry about it. The input is always a reverse Polish notation, and the answer to the intermediate calculations can be represented in a 32-bit integer. So we don't have to worry about our answer becoming bigger than 32-bit. So we don't have to handle that. This simplifies the problem a lot. So let's take a look at the solution of this problem. Over here, we are going to use a stack data structure. This is our input. Every time we have an integer, we are going to push it in the stack. So I am at 2 first. Let's put it in the stack like this. Let's go to 1, put it in the stack. So 1 is over here. Let's go to plus. Every time I have an operation, I'm going to pop two elements out of the stack and perform the operation on them. So my value 1 would be pop 1. This 1 is popped out. Value 2 would be this 2 is popped out. This 2 is popped out. This plus operation will be performed on these two. So value 3 would be equals to value 1 plus value 2. Addition can be performed in any order, so I don't have to worry about value 1 and value 2. So what would be the response? It would be 3, right? The sum would be 3. Now this 3 would be appended to the stack. Next, I would iterate through the input again. I am at 3. 3 is an integer, so I can append it directly. And then I have a multiply. This multiply would operate on these two elements, so they will be popped out. The multiplication of them is going to be 9. And 9 would be an input over here in the stack. So we are done with iterating through the input. The element in the stack would be our solution, and if it is a valid reverse Polish notation, we are always going to have one element. So 9 is our solution. So this would be the basic algorithm. Let's take a look at the code implementation. So I am here in the code editor. First of all, I would like to create a stack. I can use a list in Python to create a stack. Now let's iterate through all the tokens. So let's say for n in tokens, if n is an integer or n is a operand. So I can say for n in, let's put all the operations. So something like this, multiply and a division. If I have an operation, I would like to operate it on the two top elements of the stack. So let's take out value 1 equals to stack dot pop, and value 2 equals to stack dot pop. Let's perform the operation but before that, let's check what the operation is. So if n equals to addition, let's perform that addition. So I can say value 3 is equals to value 1 plus value 2, and I can append this value 3 in the stack dot append value 3. Very similarly, I can say else if n is equals to subtraction, over here value 3 would be equals to, now this time we need to remember it would be value 2 minus value 1. The value at the bottom of the stack is put first, and the value at top of the stack is put second, so that becomes value 2 minus value 1. So this is important, and the same rule would also apply with division operation. So I can again say stack dot append, I can append the value 3. Next up, I can have else if n equals to multiply. I don't have to worry about the order, so I can just blindly do it value 1, value 2, and I can append it in the stack value 3. Very similarly, else if n equals to division, this time the order would matter. So value 3 equals to value 1 division, sorry, value 2 division with value 1, and stack would have the value of value 3, but we need to take care of the fact that we should truncate towards 0. So we only want the integer value. So int of this, we only want the integer value. Next, there is a possibility that we have an operand, not an operation. So if we have an operand, if we have an integer value, we can just simply append that in the stack, and we need to append the integer form of it because we have tokens in string. So we need to convert this n to an integer and append it into the stack. This should be it. Let's return stack dot pop, the top element from the stack, and we should just have one element, and that would be our solution. So let's run this code. Let's submit it. Okay, so we have a solution. If this video was helpful to you, please consider subscribing for more such content.